Hi everybody, it's David Porter. I'm going to remove my delicious Moroccan mint little tree so you can see better. I've chosen a very difficult and at times very high stress career path. Got to open the window a little bit. It's unseasonably warm this February day and the car's starting to fog up. Hope you can still hear me with some background noise. All the background noise out here. You probably can't. Rolling up the window again. Anyhow, take two. So, the career path I've chose is I am a psychotherapist and I primarily see criminal offenders. Nearly everyone I see is referred to me by the Department of Corrections, the State Department of Corrections, because they have committed an offense, they have been convicted by a jury of their peers, or much more likely they have pled out, they have signed a plea agreement to what they did or didn't do. That's a whole other story for another time. They are gonna be on parole, probation, or house arrest. Probation if they have not done any time in a correctional facility for this offense. They've been released to the community in lieu of incarceration if they abide by certain conditions. Parole, which means they have been in a correctional facility and they have been released early, contingent on specified behaviors in the community, or they are on house arrest, which doesn't mean they're literally confined to a home or to a residence. They're free to move about in the community, but they have to, again, abide by certain conditions. They may have a curfew, they have to carry furlough papers, identifying themselves as a inmate of the state, because technically they're incarcerated, and they have to carry a schedule detailing where they're going to be every hour of the day, every day. And you have plainclothes corrections officers who drive around rendezvousing with these people. They of course have a copy of the same schedule, and they check on them and make sure they're where they're supposed to be, have them blow on an Alka-Sensor, ask a few cursory questions, check in with them, and also just see how they're doing, what's going on, how's the job, are you being a responsible, law-abiding member of the community, and is there anything going on that's giving you difficulty? How can we prevent problems? I know the reputation of POs, but where I am, they're a good people, good bunch of men and women who have a very difficult job, and they do it with the best of their ability with the resources they have. So I just want to take a second to recognize that and recognize them. Speaking of which, where I'm going with all this is, if you are going to do what I will hereafter refer to as the job, police officer, corrections officer, parole and probation, DCF case manager, forensic psychologist, psychiatrist, LADC, licensed alcohol drug counselor, if you are going to do a job where day after day you are going to have exposure to some of the very worst aspects of human behavior, you're going to see and witness and hear descriptions of child abuse and child molestation, domestic violence, rape, homicide, assault, addiction, and just general, for a lot of people, hopelessness and despair that any of those things will change. The curse of intergenerational poverty, a mindset of despair. This is what you're going to deal with. I remember I grew up in upstate New York, and part of upstate New York, Schenectady, where you had a variety of social problems. And again, you had good neighborhoods and not so good neighborhoods. The elementary school I went to, probably 75% of the kids there were from a low-income housing project, Yates Village, and they led rough lives with all of the aforementioned problems. That's what these kids were growing up with. And I remember walking home from school with this kid. We couldn't have been, we were definitely not more than 12. We were maybe 10 or 11. And I don't know, we were having a deep philosophical discussion for a couple of 10, 12-year-old boys. And he, at one point, I don't know how we got on the topic, but at one point he emphatically stated, "You're born in hell, you're going to live in hell, you're going to die in hell." My gosh, this is coming from a child. And that was how he saw life already at that point. So these are the kind of people you're going to be talking to and dealing with every day, and worse. And it wears you down. Let me rephrase, it can wear you down. So my message to you as criminology students, or if you're interested in becoming an LADC, you're learning about substance abuse, criminology, and psychology, behavioral sciences, you must take very good care of yourself. This is not optional. This is a requirement. If you do not, you will not have career longevity or efficacy. You will want to get out of it after 6 months, if not sooner. You will stay for whatever reason, but you will not be effective. You must take good care of yourself. And it is critical to do that. You have to have hobbies and interests and sources of support that have nothing to do with what you do for a living, because this is not an easy job. Yeah, I do it sitting in a chair. Currently I do it from home, doing teletherapy. I used to do it sitting in an air conditioner heated office. So it's not physically demanding. It is mentally demanding, because I will have a full day where I'll see 8 patients and for hour sessions, and at the end of the day, and that doesn't include time in between where I'm making phone calls, sending emails, doing the usual office tasks and support tasks that are necessary to provide therapy, writing notes. So by the time the day is over, it's 12, 14 hours, and even though I've been sitting in a chair all day, I am completely exhausted and drained and numb, where have had times where I sit on the couch and just stare at the blank wall, and I can't even think, and I can't move. It's exhausting. You have to take very good care of yourself, or you're not going to make it. What are my ways? I like to work out, believe it or not. Gosh, I'd look a lot worse than this if I didn't. I like to work out, doing CrossFit style workouts. I like to shoot. I like, punching tin cans with my 357 mag. I like to go fishing. I fly fish. I tie my own flies. I like to do wildlife photography. I like being outdoors. I love to cook, obviously, and eat. I love creating things in the kitchen, making chilies and soups and stews and baking, berry cobblers, that kind of stuff, cookies, and thus the necessity for the CrossFit style workouts. And I like to read. I love reading classic literature and watching good movies, although those seem to be getting harder and harder to find. I'm gravitating more towards older classic movies because of the drivel that's being put out today by Hollywood, but that's, again, a whole topic maybe for another video. Okay, so those are some of my thoughts. Please take good care of yourselves. If you're going to do this for a living, take good care of yourselves, because it's not easy some days. All right, everyone, have a good day, good week, and please hit subscribe and be safe.